Welcome to Compare Verse. Today, on day number 47 of our 365-day challenge, we are going to travel back in time to discover the 10 longest-lasting empires in all of history. When we talk about empires, we mean vast territories ruled by a single authority, and some of them survived wars, plagues, and crises for entire centuries. Did you know that the longest empire of all lasted nearly 1,500 years, which means far longer than the time that has passed since the discovery of the Americas until today? We will take you from number 10 all the way to the empire that refused to fall for more than a millennium. Let us get started. At number 10, we have the Mongol Empire, which lasted approximately 162 years, from the year 1206 to the year 1368. Founded by Genghis Khan, this empire was the largest contiguous land domain in all of human history, stretching from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe and covering nearly 20% of all habitable land on the planet. Fun fact, although it was not the longest-lasting empire, it was the most enormous enduring the so-called Pax Mongolica. Merchants could travel the Silk Road from China all the way to Europe under a single political protection. At number 9, we find the Qing dynasty of China, which ruled for approximately 268 years, from the year 1644 to the year 1912. This was the last imperial dynasty of China and was founded by the Manchu people, who were not of Han ethnicity. At its peak, the Qing Empire covered nearly 14 million square kilometers and ruled over more than 400 million people. Fun fact, Empress Dowager Cixi, one of the most powerful women in history, effectively controlled the fate of China for almost 50 years from behind the throne. At number 8 is the Tang dynasty of China, which lasted approximately 289 years, from the year 618 to the year 907. The Tang era is considered the golden age of Chinese civilization, a period of extraordinary cultural, artistic, and technological flourishing. Fun fact, during the Tang dynasty, the city of Chang'an, the capital, was probably the largest and most cosmopolitan city in the world, with nearly 1 million inhabitants and merchants arriving from Persia, Arabia, and beyond along the Silk Road, Arabia. At number 7, we have the British Empire, which lasted approximately 400 years, from the late 16th century to the year 1997. At its peak, around the year 1920, it was the largest empire in history by area, covering about a quarter of all the land on the planet and ruling over more than 412 million people. Fun fact, it was so vast that it was known as the empire on which the sun never sets, because at every moment there was some part of its territory where it was daytime. At number 6, we find the Han dynasty of China, which ruled for approximately 426 years, from the year 206 B to the year 220 AD. At number 5 is the Portuguese Empire, which lasted approximately 584 years, from the year 1415 to the year 1999. It was the first global empire of the Age of Discovery, stretching from Brazil in the Americas to territories in Africa, India, and Macau in Asia. At number 4, we have the Ottoman Empire, which lasted approximately 624 years, from the year 1299 to the year 1922. Founded by Osman I in Anatolia, at its peak it controlled much of Southeast Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa. Fun fact, it was the Ottoman Empire that conquered Constantinople in the year 1453, bringing the Eastern Roman Empire to an end, and the Ottoman sultans went on to style themselves as the heirs and Caesars of Rome. At number 3, we find the Holy Roman Empire, which lasted approximately 844 years, from the year 962 to the year 1806. It was a multi-ethnic complex of territories that covered much of Central Europe and was founded when Otto I was crowned emperor in the year 962. Fun fact, the famous writer Voltaire once quipped mockingly that this empire was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire, and yet it survived for more than 8 centuries until Napoleon dissolved it. At number 2 is the Pandya Empire of India, which spanned approximately 1,500 years, from antiquity to the 16th century. This Tamil dynasty of southern India had its capital at Madurai and was one of the most important maritime and commercial powers of the ancient world, trading pearls and spices with civilizations as far away as Rome and ancient Greece. And at number 1, the longest-lasting empire in history, the Roman Empire. Counting its Byzantine continuation, the Roman state lasted approximately 1,500 years, from the year 27 BC, when Augustus became emperor, to the fall of Constantinople in the year 1453. At its peak, under Emperor Trajan, the Roman Empire covered nearly 5 million square kilometers and ruled over about 70 million people, nearly a fifth of the world's population at that time. And there you have it, the 10 longest-lasting empires in history, from the 162 years of the Mongol Empire to the nearly 1,500 years of the Roman Empire. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these empires do you find the most impressive?